isn't that a lovely, lovely sound? Good morning. The sound of birds tweeting in a wood and the distant bells of a French Catholic church. Listen again. Probably only just hear the church bells, but you'll hear the birds. Good morning. We've woken up on our campsite, which is some, I'd say, 20 or 15 miles away from the circuit, different one to where we are usually. We're right next to the track at the Porsche Curves, as you know, but not this year because it's sold out. And what a lovely place this is to be as well. A massive campsite, huge fields next to a chateau, and the Greaves Motorsport team are also here as well. They're staying in the chateau. The rest of us are pitched in these fantastic tents which Travel Destinations supply. If you rent a space, you can rent a tent as well. They've put the tent up for us. Oh, I've discovered that the bells are coming from a different direction to what I thought. They're over here. We can hear the bells over here. Stevie and Zog, how are we, boys? Rested?
Remarkably.
Yeah, rested, refreshed, ready to go.
Good. And no drama in the night then? No number 3 Audi spun off with bad tyres or anything like that? That's usually what happens, isn't it, in the night? But that didn't happen.
It seems like we've got all the main P1 contenders still running, and still running strong as far as we can tell. We've just had a quick skim of updates, but yeah, all those Audis and Porsches are still going at it, and I'm delighted to say it's a Porsche 1-2.
Well, I'm particularly delighted to say that the Porsche that's in number 1 is Nico Hülkenberg.
And Stevie's happy because... Oh, no, hang on, the Corvette isn't winning. sorry.
Sorry, Stevie.
Actually, no, I honestly thought for a moment the Corvette was winning. No,
Is it not?
No, that's right.
A Ferrari was winning it.
Yeah, Ferrari's winning it.
Yeah, but by a handful of seconds.
Yeah, it's how close this endurance racing is these days.
Yeah, and we'll be there hopefully in just over half an hour, so there'll be 4 hours still to go.
Yeah, 20 past 10, let's get out there and see who is going to win this race. Time's now just after 11 o'clock, and slightly surprisingly, the drive from the campsite to the Circuit de la Sarre took 20 minutes, Stevie, would you say?
Tops.
Yeah.
Tops.
That was really impressive, and it makes camping off circuit practical if you can get here and not miss the end of the race, because, as you know, Zog and Stevie missed the start of the race. But, you know, you live and learn. Every Le Mans is different.
Don't rub it in.
No. I'm just talking through the logistics of advice for our listeners on what they should do when they come to Le Mans.
Good, yes.
With us next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in this car. Right. All of them. All 36,000 of them.
The space.
The space.
We could get a roof rack.
It's a very generous car, the Porsche 944.
Surprisingly so.
I have got 5 people in it in one occasion.
Have you?
Yeah, so it's surprisingly roomy. But...
Car behind, boys, move out the way. We're walking, by the way, from the car park now to the circuit. You can probably hear in the background the sound of, well, mainly helicopters, but also those lovely racing cars, which, whilst we slept for 6 hours, I suppose it was, they just kept going. Incredible.
It's the day again, and I think I miss some racing. I was drinking rain. Can I ask you for some aspirin and a bottle of coke and some WD-40 for my knee?
3 hours left of 24 hours of racing at Circuit de la Sarre. Stevie, Zog and I are installed in our vantage point at Tête Rouge, and Porsche are leading this race. Hulk's car could be the winner at this stage.
Your man is leading the race.
Which I'm even more pleased about than I thought I would be, to be honest. I'm buzzing. What happened to Audi, Zog?
Well, during the night they just had a couple of little problems. They had a penalty.
Bodywork issues as well.
Yeah, that was on the 7 car, I think, and then the 9 car, they've had it in the garage doing a little bit of work, and I'm not sure. We're still catching up a little after our night's rest, so I'm not sure what the problem with the 9 car was, but they've had mechanical issues. It's interesting that Audi have fallen prey to probably what they were hoping
Would happen
would happen to Porsche and would benefit them. And the Porsches have had a better run, and they're on for a 1-2.
And Stevie's happy because the race in the GTE is pretty darn close for him as well. His Corvette is running second, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, the Ferrari is still leading the Corvette, but it's so close, you know, it's a matter of 20 seconds or so. That's nothing with 3 hours to go, so
Nothing.
nothing.
Well, let's see how it plays out.
Yes, the same one that I used when I was knocking one out. I mean the song we wrote about racing through the night. The one that we called 24 hours.
2 hours to go in the 24 hours of Le Mans, and slight drama. And there goes the dramatic car, by the way. Slight drama in GTE Pro, where Giancarlo Fisichella, Gianmaria Trulli and Tony Volander's Ferrari has just been overtaken by the Corvette. I'm hoping for the Ferrari win in GTE Pro, but they've pulled into the garage to leave with a puncture, so they've lost the lead. So the next 2 hours for them is going to be a race. I can see the car being wheeled into the garage now, so it looks like something slightly more serious than a puncture. However, in the rest of the grid, Earl Bamber in the number 19 Porsche, my Porsche, is leading the race at the moment. Brendan Hartley currently at second place in the number 17 Porsche, that's the Mark Webber car. And the leading Audi is the number 7, driven by Benoit Trullier at the moment, in third place. So if it stays as it is, it looks like Audi could get on the podium, but this looks like it is going to be a Porsche win. Although I have to say, it's very cold. The temperature here, I don't ever remember it being this cold on the last day at Le Mans in many years I've been coming. And that drop in temperature rather suggests that there could be a weather change going on. We had a few sprinkles of rain as we walked up to our position here, and it could actually rain. Unusually it hasn't rained for the full 22 hours so far, but if it does rain in the next 2 hours, that is going to put the, I was going to say cat among the pigeons, but that's too much of a cliche. Why don't we say that's going to put the low grip surface amongst the race cars, because that means the same thing. Hour and a half to go, and I said rain could be a possibility, and I can actually feel a few drops on my face, and it is sprinkling slightly in the pit lane at the moment. But with exactly 1 hour and 34 minutes to go, Nico Hulkenberg has got into the number 19 Porsche. If they can maintain this one lap lead that they have over the number 17 Porsche, then Nico will cross the line, not only as a driver in the winning car of the Le Mans 24 Hour, but the man who drives the car across the line, winning Le Mans at his first attempt. I'm not tempting fate, we're not there yet, but that's what I want to happen. Now, also, I should point out that I'm having reasonable luck further down the field. Whereas my Ferrari, the number 15 AF Corsa, is now in the garage having some very serious work done at the back, to Corvette. The LMP2 car that I've been watching with Nicola Lapierre is leading LMP2. So, in theory, I could score a 2 out of 3 victory this year, which may be a historic win for me at Le Mans. Not only did I win the race to Le Mans, but I think I may win 2 out of the 3 races at Le Mans this year. Pretty good hit rate. I'm happy with that.
The clock's still ticking, and I feel like throwing up. I feel like shicking up my guts. I knew I shouldn't have had that last 4 pints of stout. Now the ability to read the race has left me.
Stevie Stacking, who's having his first ever Le Mans experience, just returned. He's been down at the fence, very excited. Why? I know.
Because the Corvette is winning.
You wanted that. I hate you.
It's amazing.
The thing about the Le Mans 24 hours is it's not over till it's over.
And it's just starting to rain. It's, you know, so
I'm looking at moisture on the screen of our recorder here. That's not a good sign. It can all change, and with the weather changing, it's not done and dusted yet. I'm still hoping they're going to get that Ferrari rebuilt and out there, and it'll make up its 4-lap deficit now. Oh, how many laps are the winning cars going to do? Is 300 and something? No.
I can't remember. I'm not sure what the latest target is. Just a little thought about the Corvette. It's like the minion of the sports car world, you know, Despicable Me. It's this crazy little yellow thing. You're faffing around in your fancy Ferrari. This mad yellow thing, street fast, and you're going. You know,
They should paint.
it's a minion. It's fantastic.
They should paint a minion on the side of that car. You wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
It's the same yellow.
They've missed a chance there. There should be Despicable Me 2 sponsorship or something.
Next year, we'll be back.
I know you'll be. You're addicted, aren't you?
You'll never get me away from here. I'm going to chain myself to this stand, and I'm not going home.
Direct emails to Emma to make sure that Stevie can come next year.
364 days to go.
The countdown starts in about 1 hour and 24 minutes when this race finishes.
I should have left it there. Now just drinking in the air is making me nauseous again. Now I've got to make it to the main grandstand again to catch the end of this epic giant race.
1 hour and 20 minutes to go, and more drama. The Bicolis car that once was going to be a Lotus with a BMW Judd engine, I believe, but is now running under the Collis brand, dribbled past us here at Tetre Rouge, making a horrible noise. And in the meantime, the number 23 Nissan has also... I can see that the Collis is spun on the screen somewhere. That looks like the Porsche Curves, I think. So that's clearly having severe problems. Looks like perhaps the engine locked up. It's running again now, heading towards the... Sorry, the number 23 Nissan was also in trouble out on the circuit. Imagine that, you run for 22 hours or thereabouts and it all goes wrong. Oh, it's a hard race to win. It's a hard race to finish, let alone win. It's a difficult enough race to even qualify for, this one.
Yes, I don't think I've got the strength or endurance or the powers to go for another long distance race, to do another 24 hours.
1 hour racing left in the 83rd running of the Le Mans 24 hours. And I don't know if, like me, you like to listen to the commentary where you are, whether you are here for the race or you're listening online at home. But the Radio Le Mans team are superb. John Hindorf himself has just taken over for the last hour and a half of commentary. Probably the greatest motorsport, most human motorsport commentator since Murray Walker. I could listen to John Hindorf all day. He brings a level of excitement and clarity to this sport which is superb. The whole Radio Le Mans team, must mention Shea Adam, Paul Truswell, Nick Damon, Bruce Jones. I'm sure I've missed some of them off there.
Jim Roller.
Jim, yeah. Great. Jim in the night. I like his cool, laconic style. But when Hindorf winds it up for the last hour, you think, crikey, here we go. He just has that skill, that ability. How are the cars looking, John? They're not as dirty as they often are when we've had a wet race. It's been quite dry. They don't look as filthy as they often do they?
No, they're not looking as beaten up, as shabby as they often do. They're not.
But shabby is good. A raced Le Mans car that looks like it's been raced is even more sexy than a brand new one fresh out the box.
Yeah, if it looks like it's been out there doing its job, yeah, that's a proper Le Mans.
It's earned its stars. Yeah. I noticed that the number 22 Nissan GTR, if you look at it, some of the red panels are different colours. There are bright red panels and dark red panels. I'm not sure it started the race looking like that, but I like this sort of Mondrian patchwork quilt look it's got now. Have you noticed?
Do you think they've faded a little, or
I don't know,
or they're just picking up dirt slightly differently,
or they've pulled bits off and thrown new bits on?
Yeah, probably
look, there it is. Oh no, that's the Rebellion.
That's the Rebellion. That's the Rebellion. That's the bright.
The Rebellion, which is this gorgeous crimson colour, because it's using this chromed finish. It's got a great big black carbon fibre unpainted panel at the front. Nice. And we haven't mentioned the Toyotas. The Toyotas are still running, not on the podium, but they're nowhere near.
No, I mean, yeah, they're running solidly. They're still out there, but they're nowhere near the sharp end, which is a shame.
A great shame. Shame. There are rumours that Toyota are considering doing away with the supercapacitors and putting batteries or a flywheel in next year, and doing away with their motor and putting in a turbo, smaller motor, which would make it closer to the sort of engines that they're running on the road cars these days, I think.
And closer to what Porsche are doing.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know if it's the case that they're thinking of moving away from supercapacitors. I'd be really interested to know what the engineering thinking behind that is, where the advantage comes, or where they think they are having a problem in running their cars from using supercapacitors rather than batteries. Just the whole how you store and recover electrical energy is an interesting problem. I'd like to know what is behind that. Yeah,
I think the answer is probably a supercapacitor and a battery system. So you have a rapid charge and discharge, plus a kind of a reservoir. You can charge more slowly and discharge more evenly as well, perhaps.
Well, I don't know, but I haven't heard of anybody having a problem with their batteries because they can't pull enough current out of them.
True, yeah.
You might have a problem because your wires aren't thick enough and, you know, you're overheating things. You might have a problem with heat dissipation because your batteries are getting very hot. But in terms of actually pumping the electrons out quickly enough, I haven't heard of that being an issue. On an entirely different technology note, though, I've had a real problem with the ACO's 24 Hours of Le Mans iPhone app, and I suspect any other listeners who've downloaded that app and have been trying to use it for live timing are also a bit fed up with it, because a couple of days ago it was working fine.
Yeah.
And every time that I've tried to use it, like yesterday and today, I get an error message either saying that I can't use it because I need an internet connection. Okay, so maybe I'm in a black spot there and it's not going to get it. Or it's just that I have to update the application and I have to download 66 megabytes worth of updates.
You can't do that in the middle of a field
of France. You can't do that in the middle of France when you're getting a trickle of data. And I cannot believe the application was working a couple of days ago. I can't believe that whatever they've changed on that app is so important that it needs a 66 megabyte update to make it work better, you know, because we just want the live timing. I want to be able to look at an updating screen of the latest lap times with maybe some record of previous laps and fastest laps, things like that. I want timing information. I don't care about the rest of the stuff. And I was getting that a couple of days ago.
So whilst the ACO are good at managing the technology that's used in the cars that race at their event, they're struggling a little bit with their app.
Yeah, and again, they're putting on a great event. You know, we're all having a great time here. It's, you know, wonderful atmosphere. We're big fans of the ACO.
Oh, yeah.
But either they or whoever they've asked to make their iPhone apps have dropped the ball a bit on this one. It's quite annoying. Anyway.
I should point out that as we walked past the ACO building last night on the way back to the car, you observed me get down on the floor and bow in homage to the ACO. Bless the ACO for their long commitment to creating the greatest motor racing. Oh boy, 45 minutes to go to the end of the race, and the leading car in the GTE amateur class, terrible name for that class by the way, I think it should be called GTG, Grand Touring Gentlemen drivers and lady drivers, GTGL. But the leading car, the number 98 Aston Martin Vantage GTE, driven by Paul Dall'Anna at the time, Canadian driver, seems to have gone off on the circuit and is out, which means Patrick Dempsey's Porsche is now running second, and the lead has been inherited by the Ferrari of SMP Racing. How about that? 45 minutes to go from tragedy. That's the nature of this race. I have to add a note of sympathy to the Aston Martin team there with Dall'Anna in the car. I had no idea that the spiritual leader on earth of the Buddhist religion was a fan and indeed a driver of Le Mans racing. Incredible. And what a nice guy the Dalai Lama is. I like him even more. Or now I know he's a motor racing driver. 24 minutes left of 24 hours racing, and this is how it looks. The leader in LMP1 is the number 19 Porsche 919 Hybrid, driven at the moment by Nico Hulkenberg, who shared the car with Earl Bamber and Nick Tandy, who both came up through the Porsche Super Cup, so it's a proper Porsche car. I should point out that was one of my picks for the race, probably my favourite of all of them, so I'm very happy. In LMP2, the leading car at the moment is the number 47 KCMG car, the Orica Nissan, driven by Matt Howson, Richard Bradley and Nicolas Lapierre from A1GP. So another one for me. In GTE Pro, sadly, Gianmaria Bruni, Tony Villander and Giancarlo Fisichello's car had problems, which means that Stevie Sakin's car, the Oliver Gavin, Tommy Miller and Jordan Taylor Corvette, the number 64 car, looks like it could win. But the best results at the moment for me, this warms my heart, in GTE AM, the lead has now gone to the driver with the best name in motorsport this year. I mentioned it on the last show. They're driving the SMP Racing AF course, Ferrari 458 Italia, the number 72 car driven by Andrea Berlottini, Alexei Bazov, and the winner in the German Pooing Championships, Victor Scheiter. 12 minutes to go, which is probably 3.5 laps left, and The red and yellow striped flags have been waved by the marshals, indicating that there is reduced grip. I can feel spots of rain, not very much, just spots of rain on the back of my neck here, and it's very, very cold. Oh, the Collis car just went past. They've got that running again. Well done. They'll be running at the end, they'll be classified. And in the distance, I can see a lot of rain. I really can see it now on the tree line. And down on the straight, it's very wet. Now, the number 19 leading Porsche came in and stopped for fuel a minute ago, but didn't swap to the intermediate tyres.
It's raining at the Ford chicane.
Yeah, at the Ford chicane. That's not where you want rain. You don't want rain anywhere here at this point in the race. So with just 11 minutes to go, things are tricky. Wait for it, this is the last lap. Wait for it, he's coming. To go, and I'm looking at the Dunlop Bridge waiting to see the number 19 Porsche driven by Nico Hülkenberg to appear and to go past us for the last time, for the last lap of this enormous circuit. All is quiet. There have been ripples of applause for the various GT cars as they go past for the last time. Oh no, that's the Toyota passing. That's the number 1 Toyota. Ripple of applause for them. That's the Dempsey Porsche. Was that the Dempsey Porsche,
that
wasn't
was
it?
the Dempsey Proton Porsche, yeah.
But where is that mighty 919? I'm looking at the TV now. I can see they're going through. Is that the Porsche curves? Where are they? It's an Aston goes past. Applause and lots of cheering and hugging going on in the various pits. There goes the G-Drive Sam Bird car in LMP2. Any moment now. There goes the other Audi running, the number 9 car. That's it, the 919 crosses the line with Nico Hülkenberg taking the win for Porsche, giving them 17 wins and taking that challenge put to them by Audi. That is the first time a non-Audi has won this race since 2009, when Peugeot scored a home victory as the French team. I am deeply admiring of Audi's effort, their phenomenal success at Le Mans, but I have to say that Zog, sitting alongside me, a long-time Porsche file, and me, a huge fan of Nico Hülkenberg, here he comes, are absolutely thrilled. Listen to this. Well done, Porsche. Well done, Nico. Good lad. Wow, and there's the number 17 Porsche Mark Webber car following. I must say it's not just a Nico Hülkenberg victory, but Tandy and Bamba are also in those cars. As all the drivers in the open-top LMP2 cars wave from their cockpits. The beautiful Rebellion looking resplendent as they go past the remaining LMP2 cars. Everybody standing, absolutely everybody around our part of the circuit. The marshals all waving their flags, stood
on the circuit. This is the enormous relief. Even the by-Collis car, I've no love for Collis, but they're running at the end, so well done them. And it's raining. Le Mans finishes for 2015 in the rain. No incidents in the last few minutes, but it could have gone so very wrong for anyone. Such is the fine balance required to finish this race. You have to put a car together that not only can win, is quick enough to win, is reliable enough to win, so your team is organised well enough to win, but also have to avoid many of the pitfalls of the weather, slippy surface, slower cars, and just plain bad luck. And there goes the final GTR Nissan running, the number 22 car, very warmly received for being such an unusual and innovative, wonderful car to take part in the greatest race in motorsport. And still they come round for another one. There's the G-Drive car, still running. What an incredible race. I'm going to give one of the last words to Stevie Sackins. Stevie, how'd you feel?
Emotional.
I can see your glassy eyes. It's Herculean, isn't it?
It is Herculean.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels so long ago.
Yeah. That race, well, it was practically a whole season ago, 24 hours of racing.
It feels like how they've gone through a day and a night.
Yeah. 394 laps run by the leading car, not quite the record, but what a race. Thank you for listening to us prattle through the day, through the night, on the way here, enduring the racing. Zog waving his Porsche flag. Happy, Z?
Oh yes, that's a fabulous race, great result. Yeah, very happy man right now.
I sincerely hope that you lot listening to this are as happy as we are here. That was a magnificent Le Mans this year. And you know what? Next year, Ford are returning to this category. They're racing in GTE, which will have a new name next year, the GT class. And they're racing the Ford GT on the 50th anniversary of Ford's first win at Le Mans. I like to hope I'll be here, and I hope you will too. Thank you for listening to Gareth Jones on Speed. I'm Gareth. See you for the next show.
To send us an email, see pictures, get song lyrics, join our Facebook fan site, follow us on Twitter, or to find out about sponsorship opportunities, go to garethjones.tv. Gareth Jones on Speed is made in London by Whiz Bang.
Gareth Jones